Hi everyone. So another great interview for you today, the last day of Brain Health Week. And today I'm joined by Roisin O Kelly. Roisin I've known for, oh my God, a long time. um, all before my kids anyway, because the whole family knows Roisin at this stage. Roisin her background is she's a general nurse, also children's nurse and midwife, and then she kind of took a slight career change and practiced and trained as a naturopath and herbalist. So I guess I know Roisin very much from the point of view of my regular go-to for my herbs. So Roisin, it's great to have you with us today, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks for asking me, Catherine. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. So I guess most people who know me, and I know there's a lot of people who'll be watching this know that I'm a great fan of herbs, and I've taken herbal tonics for years, on and off for different things. And as I said, the whole family have been going to Roisin, I think, for probably over 20 years now. So I think for me, I love to cover the fact that women, that people have choices, that once you're armed with all the information, then you can make very good informed choices in terms of what your personal choices are. That may be HRT, that may be some other form of medication, it may be the natural route, it may be herbs, acupuncture, etc. So the most important thing for me is that everyone's informed and has the knowledge. And when it comes to herbs, I have to say Roisin is an oracle. And I've learned so much over the years. From every time I visit, I come away with some new nugget of information. So I guess, Roisin, what we were hoping to talk about today is really, those herbs that are very good for brain health, and
Yeah.
to protect the brain.
Yeah, just on what you said there, Catherine, about how I got started in it. I was working as a nurse, and my son had very bad eczema, and I had done all the study, thinking that I'd be able to sort out his skin. I was working in intensive care in Temple Street, and nothing that the experienced doctors there gave me worked. And he was awake every night crying and scratching, and that went on for about 12 years. Because during that 12 years, I started studying. I did nutrition with Tony Quinn, and then I went on, I did reflexology and aromatherapy. And it was only when I came to the herbs that I really saw a difference in people's health and in my own health. And Kieran is great now. He's 36 and he's working away. He's in a nutrition company himself. So he's been, through the mill, and he's quite the other side. But I think the doctors did our best. I think they did as far as they knew how to handle Kieran. They worked very hard with him. But it just wasn't enough, because I was deficient when I was pregnant. So he was deficient. He didn't have the vitamins and minerals in his body to heal the body. We needed to give him something extra.
Okay.
So we used complex homeopathy, which turned him around in a few days. So I said, if this works so powerfully for Kieran, now we had him on a very good diet, but if it works so powerfully, surely there's other naturopathic tools. And that's when I wanted to go back and do more on naturopathy. So naturopathy is the looking at the person and saying, what does this person need? Because everybody is an individual.
Yeah.
And we look at the root cause of the problem. We don't look at, okay, we give you something for sinuses, so everybody gets that. So say, why does Catherine have sinuses? Is that different sinusitis than I'd have? And that's really the same with menopause. It's the same with your brain health. What is going on for you? So we look at it from different aspects. We're always trying to prevent illness. So my dad had Alzheimer's, and he died of a fracture. Yeah, and he walked on the fractured hip. That's how he died. So I really feel passionate about preserving brain health. So some of the herbs that I would use, I would be looking at it from a Chinese point of view. If the person is very deficient, so we have to train in Chinese medicine to be naturopaths. So the person is very deficient, they're very pale, and their lips are very thin, and the tongue is dry, and they just forget things, and they leave their purse down. Where do I leave my purse? We see a lot of people like that in the clinic that will be blood deficient. So there's a particular group of herbs that treat blood deficiency, and some of the symptoms would be also, could be a bit dizzy, or you don't sleep well, or you can't get to sleep, or you feel very, very anxious for no reason.
Okay.
So by giving these herbs, one of them is Angelica sinensis, so I'm sure a lot of you have come across for the menopause already. And I'm thinking about these from the point of view of brain health. This one here is Romania Fugiosa. And then the other one that we have is peony. This is a flower. It's white peony flower. White peony flower.
Okay. Yeah.
So we put the three of these together. The three of these go together, and we make them up into a tincture. Okay.
Yeah.
So a tincture is a mixture of herbs that you would take a teaspoon 3 times a day. Catherine, you know this because you're doing it for ages, for years. And when we get the person onto the right herbs, it means that they can just only take it once a day. We usually give it 2 or 3 times in the beginning, and gradually the sleep improves. Gradually the hot flushes improve. Gradually they're not as anxious. Their skin is not as dry. They're not constipated. Their memory is better. So it's very important that you just check, are you blood deficient when you're trying to improve your memory? Because I remember when I was studying it in college, 5 out of 6 people when I was studying as a student had blood deficiency, and I said, but not the same thing. You know, what are we paying this fella for at all? But naturally says, no, women are very good because they give so much. They're carers.
Yeah.
The placenta, when you have your baby and the placenta and the baby are delivered, you've given out so much blood with that oftentimes postnatal depression can be linked with blood deficiency. Mm-hmm. And it's so simple to correct that if you get the right herbs.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Sorry, just on that, you know, we've talked a fair bit during the week about the whole kind of the caregiver burden for women, just that you touched on there, and there's definitely a running theme there in terms of, I guess, the additional kind of stress we can put ourselves under, you know, looking after other people before maybe, you know, taking the time to look after ourselves and take time out and so forth.
Well, if you look at the statistics of the last few months, like women are carers in so many areas. But with lockdown, they were at home. Some of these women that were going to have a baby, say 2 months later, 3 months later, none of the babies were underweight. I know as a midwife, there's often babies born underweight, but because the woman had the rest, maybe the extra food, the extra sleep, the baby was all a good size. So that speaks for itself. I don't know, maybe the way we've evolved that we want to be career people, talking to myself included, but if we stay at home and we nurture ourselves and just do the housework and make the dinner, you know, maybe I wouldn't be happy doing that. Obviously, you probably wouldn't either. But I mean, that nurtures, that leaves us nurtured. So we have to fit in time for ourselves.
Yeah, and we have to be doing something we enjoy too, right? You know, you have to have a passion or purpose, I think is
But key. Women are more giving and more giving all the time. So the blood tonics nourish the giving side of it. Okay. But there's specific herbs as well, Catherine. I'm sure you've heard of rosemary.
Yeah, rosemary. That's a great one. Yeah.
The way this works is it improves the circulation to the brain. Okay. So if you have poor circulation, obviously you're not going to think or function well. Yeah. So for people with losing hair, say the hair is receding, rosemary can be very good. And we can combine it then with the blood tonics. And there's another herb, and you can take that in your food. You don't have to buy herbs. You can take it in your food as well. I'm sure you've all got a rosemary bush outside of the garden. You can just use it in cooking.
I burn that a lot in the steamer as an oil, as an essential oil. And I've been doing it all week with all the interviews. Just it's really uplifting and memory. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's good for studying. If you're studying, say, during exams, it's very good as well. This is another one in adaptogen. I'm sure you've all heard of adaptogens as well. So Withania somnifera. Somnifera is for sleep. So it helps sleep, and it's also a chi tonic. So if you're feeling tired, and sometimes if you have hot flushes, the hot flushes is because you're deficient. So we give you a chi tonic as well as giving you blood tonics. Yeah. And that would help you to sleep. Because I think in menopause you don't sleep. It's either difficulty getting asleep or you wake up at 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we would give these herbs. This is actually a sleep herb, but it's also a tonic for during the day that you do energy. So it's unusual to have something that's calming and energizing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's kind of
when you calm something, you feel a bit sleepy and you need to be energized, you'll be awake. There's another herb like that as well, and it's called Avena sativa. You see, it's just written up here.
That's you've written there.
Yeah, it's just because it's in this.
Yeah.
In the oats. The oats. So they're really good for stress, and we use that as a herb as well.
Yeah.
And the one that we all know about is Ginkgo biloba.
Yeah.
Ginkgo biloba. You can't buy this in the shop anymore. When I started doing herbal medicine in 2003, you could buy this.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that when you take ginkgo, it goes through the P450 pathway. So it means it stops your other drugs being absorbed. It sees the drug as chemical. So it's a pathway protective. It's protecting you from the liver point of view of letting in the drugs. So if
Okay.
you're on a blood pressure tablet, or if you're on an anxiety tablet, or if you're on, say, L-troxin, something that's essential to you being well,
Yeah.
we would never give this. So it was taken off by the Irish Medical Board, the Ginkgo biloba. So you can get this when you go to a herbalist. So I usually give things like Ginkgo if the person's on no medication.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a really important point, Roisin. And you know, that's what I would say in terms of, you know, making sure that if you go to a herbalist, you know, like yourself, you really, with herbs, you can't dabble yourself. You need to go to somebody who's qualified and knows, because of the contraindications, because herbs are so powerful. You know, that sometimes we can kind of think herbs, maybe, you know, that they're not as powerful as medication, but I know for a fact they are so powerful. So it's very important just to make sure that you are aware, and that if you do see a herbalist, make sure you tell someone all the medication that you are on, to make sure there's no contraindications, right?
Yeah, I had a woman that came to me and she was on John's Wort, St. John's Wort Hypericum, and she bought it in the shop herself, and she wasn't feeling well. That's why she was coming to me, and we do a very detailed history, as you know, Catherine, me. I'll ask you about 60 questions just to get a background. Once you have come to the clinic once, then we can give you the herbs, no problem, but you can't really prescribe you with herbs. Maybe sleep herbs we could give you, they're safe enough, but we wouldn't give you a prescribed formula unless you'd actually been to the clinic or you've done a consultation with myself or Aisling. But she came anyway, and she told me that she wasn't feeling well. I took her blood pressure, and it was very low. And I said, what's going on here? And what happened in that case was that John's Wort stopped her absorbing her drug, but it caused a hurry of some of the constituents of the drug, and it caused her blood pressure to go lower.
Right, okay.
She actually was suffering with low blood pressure. I said, there's something wrong with you. That's why you're on a blood pressure tablet, you don't need it. So when you're back to the doctor, well, you're not meant to mix John's Wort with the blood pressure tablet. They don't mix well, because the John's Wort sees it as a chemical. So just to remember that, be careful with some of the drugs. They're taken off the market for a good reason. Like a lot of my colleagues said, oh, they're taking off the herbs, but it's for a good reason. But a lot of herbs in your cooking, Catherine, you could use. You know, if you don't want to go to herbalist, you could use, starting with breakfast, you can take the cayenne pepper. That's very safe.
Yeah.
Once you're not on any cardiac drugs. And the cayenne pepper stimulates the circulation to the brain. If you are having, if you are worried, if I'm talking to somebody that has memory loss, and like my dad had it from, say, about 60. He was going around the roundabout the wrong way. I said, what's he doing? What's happening?
He was very young, wasn't he? Wow.
Yeah, well, it was maybe 69, his late 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was still a bit of a shock. Why did he do that? He did that once, so it's definitely something around here. But this is cayenne pepper. You probably have it on your spice racks.
Yeah.
Right? And you put it into a little measure like this, and you just give it a little shake. And this is such an easy thing to take. I was taking this before I did herbal medicine, because I saw it once that somebody who had a sort of a mild chest pain.
I know I made a mistake one time. I was taking way too much of it. So it's how much do you put in?
It's 1/8 of a teaspoon. It's only the tip of a spoon.
Okay.
It's not very much at all. Then you swivel it around like that.
Yeah.
And there's a knack in it. And once you've done it once, this is for particularly people now, not the ones with the hot flushes. This is with the people that are going through the menopause, and they're worried about, when am I going to have memory loss? Because it can start.
Even for men, right? If they're not, obviously not in menopause, they can. My husband does this a few times a week.
About twice a week we need it. Okay. So you put the water in, you knock it back, you do it again. Put it in, you mix it around, you knock it back. You don't swallow it until you get the water in, Catherine. Okay.
That's
it's a bit hot, but it's nice.
Yeah, the knack is
energy.
Yeah, the knack is to remember to take the water when you've put the cayenne into your mouth, right? Take your water and
don't swallow it. You wouldn't swallow it like a shot.
Yeah.
You hold it.
Yeah.
Swallow it. So that's a really good tip for anybody looking after their brain health, because some people have numbness in their fingers and their toes, coolness in their hands. They can't think straight. They can't remember a person's name, or they can't recall something that happened last week. Where was it this time last week? I can't remember. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So it's very important that you get circulation. That's probably the most important thing I'm going to say today. If you have good circulation to your brain, the memory doesn't go as quickly. And another way to get the memory going to the brain is the B vitamins. That's
Okay,
for the whole nervous system.
yeah,
So we would recommend one of these a day, at least 5 days a week.
right. Yeah.
One B vitamin 5 days a week. And that would also help keep you very calm.
Yeah, it's very good for the nervous system, the B6 and the B12, isn't it? And I generally think a B complex is kind of the best way, as well as, obviously if you're getting it through your food. So say for someone like me, when I get my Bs monitored, I'm always off the scale with B12. So I'd never supplement with B12, but I'd have maybe some of the others, B6 and so forth. But I get a lot in my diet.
The vegetarians would need to be careful of B12.
Yeah.
You only need the size of the top of a pin of a needle.
Yeah.
So but you need it is very essential. It's hard to get it just from the vegetarian sources. Be careful that you have enough B12. Yeah. So the other herb that's really good is this one. This is called skullcap.
Oh yeah.
And when I was doing this in college years ago, the teacher we had, it was a professor of natural medicine, and she said, I want you to break up into twos, and I want you to put your hands on somebody's head. We thought she was a bit crazy. But just put your hands like that and then move them again. And it brings this sense of peace, this calm. That's why it's called like a skull cap.
Okay.
Like a skull cap
okay.
And a menopause, the way your mind is all over the place. It jumps from one thing to the other. And you could be awake at night and you cannot get back to sleep. Yeah. Skull cap is the herb.
Right, okay.
To bring a sense of peace. And the other one that I didn't bring in here, but I have it outside, is sage. So sage is specifically recommended for hot flushes. And for some people it works like that.
Yeah.
So we might just give a small bottle this size, right? Sort of in droplet form. That works for some people. But generally we do the full assessment. What's going on in your nervous system? Is your bowel working? Are you coughing? Are you anxious? Are you stressed? Is your aches and pains? How's your mood? We ask a lot of questions. And then if you imagine a Venn diagram, do you remember them from school?
Yeah.
All the circles locked over. So a really good herbalist is able to give you a herb that's hitting 3 of the complaints.
So sage, Roisin.
I was just saying how wonderful sage is as a herb. If you go into the botanic gardens, which we had to do in our training, there's loads of varieties of sage around the library. And we thought there was 1 or 2. There's about 30 varieties of sage, which is amazing.
Oh, there. Oh, wow. Okay.
So the one that we use is Salvia officinalis. One is the one that we use. And what they do is they mix it with alcohol and water and they steep it for 2 weeks. This is how you make a tincture. And it's very gently turned every day. And then the herb is strained off the mixture of water and alcohol. And that's what the phytochemicals are in. So if you take a tincture, it's like this here. I'll just show it to you.
Yeah.
So if you like that, and you could have the mixture, you'd have sage in there and put your hot water on top of this, and then you just leave it for a few minutes for the alcohol to evaporate off, and then you take it like that after meals.
Okay, yeah.
So the sage, as I say, it's good for sore throats, but it's also very good for hot flushes.
Yeah.
There's only, see again, it's contraindicated, say if you have breast cancer, and some people listening mightn't be able to take natural HRT, which isn't really recommended anyway if you're able to do it naturally. But they might have been told, one of my clients that ordered from me this morning said, I could never take anything. But I was told, do not take HRT because my sister died of breast cancer. Okay. In those situations, look for the complementary medicine treatments for menopause.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously there is, as we know, there's a lot that can't...
Catherine asked me to show you.
Sorry. Yeah. So I was just saying to Roisin there, just in terms of how you take the herbs, I'm obviously very well used to it. So if you just want to walk us through that.
Yeah, so this would be a personalized formula for somebody. So say if a patient came to me with hot flushes, with a feeling of stress, low mood, headaches, lack of libido is very common complaint that they've just sex, might be only 49, and they may have dry vagina or very dry skin, which is irritating them, and general lack of energy and not sleeping. They were the typical 9 things that would come. So we'd make a formula, and in this we might have the withania, the skullcap for the brain, the sage for the flushes, lady's mantle for the progesterone aspect of it, Avena sativa, which is the one I showed you there on this here. That's a really good herb as well. And you might give something for digestion, and you might give lemon balm. You might want to give John's Wort. You might give lemon balm for mood, and then we might give fennel for digestion, peppermint. So we'd give a teaspoon, we'd put it in the glass like this, and then we put the boiled water on top. Not so much boiling because it evaporates some of the phytochemicals. And then when this is cool, you drink it like that after meals 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But once you get onto your set formula, we call it personalized formula.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you get onto that, you only need a spoon a day, maybe 1 to 2 teaspoons in the morning. You don't need to take it 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So a lot of people buy tonics from us. We call it a tonic. And it would last you maybe the bottle that we sell for €39 would last you 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I think I've got about two doses left in my bottle, so
All right, okay.
I need to order.
Probably do it after this week, Catherine. After this busy week you have.
Well, I'll take it nice and handy now at the weekend.
And as regards herbs, though, you don't actually. I remember I gave a herbal talk once over in Griffith College, and it was herbs for everyday use, and it was absolutely packed the top. So if you're in your kitchen, you can use herbs. So I started off there with breakfast. So the cayenne pepper is the one you take before breakfast, a couple of days a week. And then you could take, if you're making scrambled egg, you put in some peppermint into it, or you put some mint into it, some peppermint or some fennel into it as well. And as the day goes on, you can include herbs in your salad or in your soup. You can put in parsley and thyme and garlic and onions. They're all herbs into your soup. That's very important as well. And then as the day goes on, you could take maybe chamomile tea. This is a very good tea. It's a sleep easy tea. So it's not just a tincture. You can, all around you, there's herbs.
Yeah.
This is called sleep easy tea. It's from Clipper.
I must try that one. I haven't tried that. Okay.
But what I say to people is you can drink this in the evening time if you're feeling hot flushes. Say from 6 o'clock on, don't drink tea and coffee because it just makes flushes worse. Yeah. And you could have this maybe a cup around 6 or 7 and then bring another cup up with you at night time and only drink half of it as you're going to sleep. And then when you wake up at 4 o'clock, if you do, by taking this at 4 a.m., it does help you to get back to sleep.
Yeah, yeah. I'd do a lot of mint tea, fresh mint from the garden, and I'd make up little pots of that during the day, or I'd have tea and I'd put in fresh ginger or turmeric or different things. So I think it's I think the world of herbs, and spices, I think sometimes we don't explore it as much as we should do, because like you say, we can bring herbs in throughout the day, right?
Like even if you make a salad, like this is my typical lunchtime, Catherine, if you can see it here. This is what I think, particularly people with menopause, can you see this? Yeah. So it's got a lot of green leaves at the bottom, and then lettuce, cucumber, beetroot, scallion, and something with protein, and then something with some carbs. So people going through the menopause, they should, I think, that's one of the main things I say to them, have a big salad every single day. Yeah. They might be going home to have soup, they might have had porridge for their breakfast. Cool down the foods, and they say, I never thought of that. I never thought what I'm eating makes a difference to how hot I am. Of course it does. So if you're having 7 cups of tea a day or 4 cups of coffee, put it right back to 3 cups or 3 mugs. Yeah, the caffeine definitely. The caffeine. Like I say, the water cools down. If you fill up one of these in the morning and then have another one in the afternoon. Some people say, oh, I don't like water. Well, you have hot flushes and you're not drinking water. Yeah. Like that's no, because the people sometimes don't realise the water is affecting their body. Their body's 70% water. Yeah. So drink the water if you're having flushes, or if you're very tired, drink some more water. Dr. Lisa Mosconi on Wednesday talked about water, because the impact on the brain is just is huge, and I've been going on about this for years, just because so many women that I talk to just aren't drinking enough water, and men as well. But it's so important to kind of have water, and it's I guess having foods with water as well, like your cucumber, your watermelon, that are high in water. The other thing that I wanted to say about hormones is, you mentioned the mint tea there, Catherine. Some people have high testosterone from being stressed. Mm-hmm. So it's important to treat stress, number one. But oftentimes to bring down the testosterone, you might need some herbs. So black cohosh would help there. Hops would help. The mint, even the mint tea would help. Mint tea. Siberian ginseng helps bring down testosterone. Peony, the peony flower, and licorice. So if you have facial hair here, or you find that you've got acne, with a bit of acne, or your hairline is receding, it could be slightly high levels of testosterone. Right, okay.
Okay.
So some people might need to get that treated to be well in menopause.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, if your cortisol is high, it affects your testosterone. Your
Yeah.
estrogen and progesterone are dropping,
Yeah.
which if you're very stressed. So we're meant to slow down in menopause. We're not meant to have 50 things on.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah. Yeah.
So the other thing I was going to say to you, Catherine, was I went to the naturopathic conference, the International Naturopathic Conference there about 2 years ago. I was in London, and there was 33 lectures that weekend, and every single specialist from all over the world mentioned probiotics, which was extraordinary.
Okay.
There had been new research published on it just around that month. And just be careful of your probiotics. So that's the one that we use, Merlac. So this one is a healthy lactobacillus acidophilus. So if you have good gut health, you often are better mentally to cope with things, or to cope with your husband driving you crazy out of the blue. He never drives you crazy, but little things might irritate you now that you're going into menopause.
Yeah, that's definitely, the tolerance levels change, or they kind of shift a bit, I think, as you get older.
I like this. I like this one in particular because you can take it going to bed. You can bring up your glass of water, and you put your 20 drops in it and take 10 drops going to sleep. And then when you wake up, it doesn't take a lot of work to do it. If you're busy, that's a handy way to get the probiotics in. Just bring it up, 20 drops in the water, drink half it, and then the 10 drops when you wake up. You just put your hand out.
And that's great then, in terms of, if you're going to bed, hopefully you'll have had a few hours before you've eaten, so your body is in that whole cleansing and repair. So getting the probiotic in then is
exactly
brilliant. Okay, I have it in the fridge. I must do that, because I generally just, when I remember it, I take it.
Try that going to bed, because I think by then the children are asleep or things have moved on a bit. A bit of time for yourself as well.
Yeah. Very true. And just when a few minutes ago you mentioned Siberian ginseng, and just you often hear, when it comes to the brain, or maybe I'm getting confused with the brain or energy, Siberian ginseng and Ginkgo kind of come up. What's the difference between the two in terms of?
Well, Ginkgo is specifically used for this brain fog we get. Some people get brain fog and they just can't function. So Ginkgo specifically improves circulation to all the vital parts of the cerebellum and the cerebrum, and all those vital parts that you need for memory. The Leucococcus centricosus, which is Siberian ginseng, that's a chi tonic. So if you're chi deficient, you don't have energy.
Right.
So it's a bit different. If you go out and have a walk and you come in and you say, I'm absolutely exhausted.
Right.
Chi is better for exercise. You might know this from the homeopathy as well. If you're chi deficient, very hard to do things. Sometimes you might have diarrhea, or you might go to the loo all the time, passing urine all the time, or you might feel your boobs are unnecessarily floppy. Everything's drooping as you get older. That's chi deficiency. And when you take a chi tonic, it raises up the energy. Okay, so somebody maybe, for example, might have a pile. That's chi deficiency.
Right.
The rectum is loose and it's hanging out. So when you take the chi tonic, so it's different. The Ginkgo is bringing circulation to the brain.
Right. Yeah. Also, they're quite different.
And I think if you're trying to balance cortisol, which is very important, some of those are very good. The withania is very good. It's an adaptogen. It gives you what you need. It adjusts to what is required in your body.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So I think we could talk all day about herbs.
I just think don't be afraid of herbs and use them. Look, I think you could use a herbal bottle to get you to sleep at night if you're having trouble sleeping.
Okay.
They're like skull cap for your brain. The passion flower. Have you ever seen the passion flower plant? It's a circular plant. It's all little beautiful. It's like the crown of Christ. It's a circle. And it's all little flowers on it. It's 12 flowers around. And that's made into a tincture as well, which will be like these. And that goes into the sleep mix. You also have the oats, which is calming and nourishing. And you also have lavender. Lavender is in a menagogue. It moves everything around. So if you have cramps from being stressed or even a bit of IBS, when you take something like that, it completely switches off the cramps or the IBS and you go into a deeper sleep. So I think the sleep mix is a very good thing to have. If you get your sleep right, often you cope better with the day.
Yeah.
Try and have cooler foods if you're in menopause. Maybe have muesli in the morning. Maybe porridge every second day. Have your big salads, definitely. 3 pieces of fruit every day. and your water, 1.5 litres to 2 litres of water a day. And please have a green vegetable, because that helps you to metabolize your hormones, which are gone a bit wonky. And you're in menopause, they've gone a bit out of balance. That's why you get a period, and you don't have any period, then the heavy period is all very erratic periods. That's the hormones trying to balance themselves.
Yeah, great. Okay. And I think, what I would say from my perspective is, honestly, having a personalized tonic made up is key. I guess, as you say, there's a lot, you can't buy them anymore anyway in the shops, but I think that's where you learn the power really of herbs in terms of
I think you've about 26 herbs now in your bottle.
Have I? Oh my god.
So you'd have some of the blood tonics, some of the blood tonics, some of the stress tonics. So there might be 5 or 6 in each of those.
Okay.
In the blood tonic bottle, there'll be the 3 that I showed you, which have raspberry leaf as well.
Yeah.
You might have some nettle.
Yeah.
So you'd have different ones in the blood tonic. You'd have fennel to help you digest it, because they're quite heavy.
Right.
If you were to look at a blood tonic, I'll just show you this before we finish up. So this is the Romani one. So if you were to look at this, what it looks like now, you might be surprised how thick it is.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Wow.
As against this one here.
Right, yeah.
There's no comparison with this. So that nourishes your blood. Sometimes the herb looks like what it's done for in your body. Say the John's wort is a yellow flower. And
right,
But you could see that's for the blood, couldn't you?
Wow, God, that's really dense, isn't it?
Nourishes your blood, yeah. Other times you might look at maybe something like chamomile flower, and it's gentle and it's meant to just cool and relax you. As soon as when you look at the plant, it gives you what it's for.
Yeah. That's the doctrine of signatures, isn't it?
Doctrine of signatures. The homeopathy is the same, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
But I love the herbs. I love working with them. I have 250 herbs now at this stage.
Well, you're a natural.
And I think prevention is better than cure. If you're worried about mental health, brain health.
And particularly,
the main thing is, if I was to do a few things at the end, just to summarize it, I'd say, please exercise, because if you get circulation to your brain, there's less chance you're going to have any sort of Alzheimer's or brain fog. If you're sitting out and you're saying, well, I go for a walk, go for a walk. Because you never say to yourself, after, I shouldn't have gone for that walk. You always say, I'm glad now I went for that walk. But sometimes we need to be a bit a bit of encouragement. I always say to clients or patients, please arrange to go for a walk with a friend. You say to me, you come on, Roisin, and we're going for a walk on this time, just put your runners on. So the exercise, this can help as well. This will be part of exercise, and the B vitamin will be part of exercise. You want to get the circulation up here. Stress is number 2. So some of these herbs will be, the scutellaria, the skull cap is used for stress, to keep you as best you can be. Under stress, don't take on too much, and make sure you sleep well. If you're not sleeping well, you're going to age when you go into menopause. So whatever it takes you to do, whether it's magnesium or chamomile tea or a sleep mix, whatever you need, take it for sleep.
Sleep is key, isn't it? It's the key to everything, our immune health, our brain health, everything.
I think your body heals itself when you're sleeping. You're sleeping properly. And the next thing is your diet. Try and have all the colours of the rainbow in the diet. I'm sure you had information on that during the week. Some people are on processed foods. They just don't go well. They're taking your energy. When we're talking about G, they take your G to digest them. So the most natural foods you can have, stick with those. That I really do believe that. And then new learning is...
Sorry, we talked a lot about that yesterday, eating the rainbow and so forth.
Some sort of meditation or prayer or mindfulness, that's been shown to... We had a student in our class years ago when I was teaching in the College of Naturopathic Medicine. Very quiet. We thought he was a young fella. Very, very quiet. And towards the end, we were sharing about what age everybody was. I said, I'm 38. We could not believe he was 38, because the mindfulness are the being in the moment and doing nothing. Just even to sit and do nothing. Like I say the rosary, I pray, I read the Bible, and then I'd sit there quietly. But that helps you stop you aging. This man looked about 22. He was 16 years older, and we were. That was the biggest lesson I ever got in any sort of meditation. So I do half an hour every morning and half an hour every night.
Wow, God, that's great.
Taught me.
Yeah.
My student
Yeah.
taught me that.
Yeah.
So
I chatted with Ellie Schilling. She's a meditation mindfulness guru yesterday, and Roisin, you should just see her eyes. She's got the bluest eyes. I mean, she's calm. She is calm. You know, she's the dictionary version of calm. You know.
Yeah, the other thing is your gut health, which I mentioned.
Yeah.
Health is very important. And the last thing is new learning.
Pardon?
Now, I have new learning.
Oh yeah.
That you're not just in a rush of doing the same thing. You might be in the same job. You're going home to make the same dinner. Do different things.
Yeah.
Don't walk the same path down to the park or the beach. Do different things. And I feel that since COVID came, it's been so much a new thing for me with Zoom. I had a meeting the other day for 44 people on Zoom. I never thought in a million years I'd be able to organise that. So be willing to change.
Yeah.
And I've been doing Zoom consultations with some of my patients, and they might be set 65, 70. I say, great, now, I have a computer. I do. I'm just clicking that, okay. And then send me the consultation sheet. Oh, I've no ink in the printer and I can't go out. Like things like this, we're trying to print the consultation. So,
yeah.
Okay, don't worry. So you have to adjust what's going on at the moment. I think.
Yeah. I so agree with that, and it's about learn. You know, new, whether it's hobbies, whatever it is, it's bringing new things into your life. I have to say, if there's one thing I'm debating after all the chats this week, is I am seriously looking at going off and learning a new language, because I just know the positive impact it could have on my brain. So I am playing around with that one, but you know, it's
the very last thing, Catherine, I was going to say was keep relationships healthy. I don't know if anybody else said this.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to clinic here, we always say, is there anybody you're not speaking to? And say, fine, what's that got to do with what do you or anything? I say, look, it's important that you forgive people, let things go. If there's a particular issue, don't sort of follow up every battle. Be willing to say, look, that's water under the bridge, sure, it's not worth fighting. If there is something major, we always say, do a bit of psychology on it, say, look, you know, I love you very much. Say it's your husband and he's annoying you the way he wants you to do the dishwasher or something. Say, look, I love you very much, honey, but you're annoying me now about the dishwasher. I want me to put the spoons in a certain way.
Yeah.
But I know we can sort it out, and then let him do the dishwasher for the rest of the time or something. But you have to say it and then say something positive at the end.
Yeah.
But dishwasher, he'll probably never annoy you about the dishwasher, because people come into us and they've little things that really annoy them, or somebody pulls out in front of them and they don't speak. Cheek of her, who does she? Just let it go. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
And as human, if we can forgive each other, there's a better energy then in your life. If you're going through menopause and your sister had a row with you about something ridiculous about your mother, just let it go.
Yeah. Oh, you have to, Roisin, because otherwise it's another thing to weigh you down. So and I'm glad you mentioned that, because we haven't really talked about that during the week. I don't think, maybe indirectly, but that's a brilliant point. I
did a lady years ago, and she had fallen out with her mother over something silly, and she hadn't seen the mother for all those years. And when I came to her, I asked that question, is there anybody you're not speaking to? And she says, no. Well, I don't speak to my mother. We fell out when my father died. She didn't tell me. Right? That was major. She was nearly 40. Yeah. That was major. I said, you need to go and visit your mother. And she said, oh, I don't think so. And she had migraine. She had very bad skin. She had musculoskeletal problems. She had a lot of things for her age. Like from head to toe, she was a wreck. I said, go and make peace. Yeah. And she kind of went kicking and screaming, but she did it eventually over a few months, and she was great afterwards. All the symptoms cleared up. I gave her herbs, but make peace. You have that. She carried that all those years. Don't carry things like that with you. Let them go. Yeah, I realize we're all making mistakes. Like we're all going through life. We all make mistakes.
Life's too short. I think.
Especially after COVID, I think people are thinking that way.
We're thinking different.
There is a lot of forgiveness there now, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
Our hearts are bigger.
Yeah. Well, Roisin, thanks so much. And I know people will get, as always, tons of great advice from you, which is fantastic. So thanks for
I hope you got a few tips there.
Oh, yeah. No, it was great. And Thanks.
I'll send you that, Catherine. I'll send it to you in a summary and you can send it out.
Yeah, lovely. That'd be great.
Okay, thanks Catherine.
Thank you.